How's it going, everybody? What up, YouTube Live? All right, I'm almost ready. I think I just need to adjust one point here. Ready. There you go. Here we are. welcome to another edition of Between the Ferns. I'm kidding. Crisis on Infinite Earths. And I'm opening up my. Okay, there you go. Tonight is part two, and wow, I have a lot of thoughts about it. Um, if you guys want to chime in with me as we go along in this video, by the way, heads up, this review is spoiler filled. There will be spoilers in this video. I will be discussing lots of spoilers. So this video review is only for those of you, my fellow DC fans who have also watched tonight's Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 2. This is the second part of this year's big crossover event. By the way, I am really glad that I have seen the movie Jumanji: The Next Level, because the screening for that is tonight, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna miss part 2 of Crisis. But luckily, I got to see the movie already, so I did not miss out on tonight's Crisis. And I'm stoked because, I'm a big fan of Superman. So seeing so many Supermans tonight, it was awesome. It was awesome. But let's start with, I want to read to you a couple of the comments from you guys from last night's video of part 1. One of you guys said, I think your name is Jose Jorges. You lost me at Kryptonites. All right. You got me there. My bad. Last night in the video, I mentioned kryptonite to refer to people from Krypton. I should have said Kryptonian, but I had a glitch in my brain, and sometimes, because if you see the video again, I was talking really fast, and it got to the point where, oh, what's the suffix for the people who, what the suffix language is? It kryptonite? No, that's Canaanite. So anyway, I was trying to figure that out in a split second, and I said kryptonite instead. Kryptonite, Kryptonian. There you go. So my bad. I know you guys get outraged when certain details, or you get outraged when we YouTubers misspeak or mispronounce things or get certain details wrong. And you know what? I'm with you there. I'm totally with you, because I get outraged when, or if somebody says some incorrect stuff about anybody or anything that I'm passionate about. So I get it. So it's an honest mistake on my part. Thank you for pointing that out, Jose Jorges. The next comment is from Captain Erie. 65-year-old Asian man, what do you think about Titans? First of all, my age is 36. I'm not 65, but you know what? I'm not easily offended by that. Thanks, though, for trying to get me triggered. I love Titans. That's all I got to say about it. What do I think about Titans? Go watch my video reviews about the Titans episodes that I have here on Rama Screen YouTube channel. Okay, moving on now to tonight's episode of Crisis on Infinite Earths. The episode was kind of catered around Batwoman. Remember last night I told you guys that Batwoman is my least favorite of all the CW superhero shows. So I was kind of like dragging my feet tonight to oh man, no, not Batwoman. But luckily, as I said earlier, as a fan of Superman, this episode tonight has more than enough reason for me to geek out about. I mean, Brandon Routh as Kingdom Come Superman, Tom Welling show up, as the Smallville Superman. I'm like, whoa. As a Superman fan, I was like a kid in the candy store, man, watching tonight's episode. I was like, yes, gimme. All right, so let's break it down here. First up, my quick comment about the Wave Rider from that other Earth. Man, did you see that? Woo! That Wave Rider looks like it has seen better days. What's that riggedy rig old piece of crap, man? Wow. I mean, I think the ship was kind of rusty too, if you notice. And I'm surprised that it could actually still fly. And what is really cool is that the voice of Gideon in that or on that Earth's, in that DC Legends of Tomorrow, that version is not Gideon. The voice of the machine or Gideon is voiced by none other than Leonard Snart. Wentworth Miller came back in the voice, you can say voice starring capacity. And I love it because, I got to say, I miss that interaction between Mick Rory and Leonard Snart. That they're banter together. They're friends, they're buddies. So they're two peas in a pot sort of deal. Different personalities, obviously. But I miss that. I miss that dynamic between them, and we get to see again a little bit of that, even though it's only Leonard's voice, not his whole presence. But there's still that, like when Mick was reading his romantic, his erotic thriller novel to this baby, Superman's baby, and he brags about, like, this is my novel, I wrote this, and Leonard quickly says, that's your only novel. I love it. I miss Leonard Snart, man. And Wentworth Miller made that character so snarky, and he's smart and in an evil way, but there's a heart of gold within him. So it's like it brings back the good nostalgia for us fans of this Arrowverse. If we've been following these characters from the start, and also us fans of Prison Break. Let's be honest, all right? Lincoln Burrows, Michael Schofield. So those two actors, they, I can watch them do their thing together till the end of time. All right, so Book of Destiny is back. Yeah, whatever. I'm not I'm not too crazy about that. But the idea of, like, oh, we can rewrite Destiny, we can bring back some of the people that died, or freaking Supergirl's like, oh, what, people on my Earth, we can bring them back again. Like, let's bring my dad back, Ollie. So it goes back to the whole thing again, where in science fiction or in superhero comic book world, nobody ever really dies. So there was no need to shed tears for Ollie last night. I mean, in tonight's episode, to shed tears for Ollie last night. Yeah, that's what I said. Because tonight they even, like, attempted to bring Ollie, or to resurrect Ollie using Lazarus Pit. So stubborn kid Ollie's daughter is. The monitor says 4 paragons, and so he sends Batwoman to meet future Batman. Because the idea is like, oh, maybe this future Batman will be the paragon of courage. Hope is Supergirl. Paragon of Destiny is Sarah Lance, and Paragon of Truth turns out to be Kingdom Come Superman. Let's talk a bit about Kevin Conroy. By the way, I've interviewed Kevin Conroy before at Comic-Con a couple of times. Go watch my interview with Kevin Conroy right here on Ramashkin YouTube channel. Love the guy, one of the nicest celebrities I've ever interviewed. I kid you not. And he has that, I mean, if you ever get to chat with Kevin Conroy, and if you're like me, you grew up a fan of Batman the Animated Series. I mean, it gave me chills, man. It gave me chills when I was standing there in front of him, listen to him speak. Because his Batman voice is not something that he has to try too hard to do. You know what I'm saying? It just comes natural for him. And so whenever he does it, it's just like, oh man, that it's like the earth just shook, man. It's just so awesome. And so tonight, when I don't know the last time that he ever actually appear live action wise, because he's more of a voice actor. But even tonight, even then, when future Batman, was having a conversation with Cat Kane, you can hear the Batman voice, the iconic Batman, the animated series voice, booming through Kevin Conroy. It's just like, oh, so awesome, so awesome. Um, I It cracks me up that because I don't know about you, but I did not see it coming. The twist about this future Batman being evil. It's an interesting twist. I don't hate it. I'm just saying that I was like, whoa, I thought the storyline was gonna be like, oh, he's gonna help him out. But I should have seen it, I should have kind of foresaw it, like, oh, Bat of the future. Of course it's gonna be Cat Kane, right? But this Batman, Kevin Conroy, reminds me a lot of Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. Remember him? I mean, a lot of fans were so pissed off about how Ryan Johnson depicted Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi, because it's not the Luke Skywalker. It's not the hopeful, optimistic Luke Skywalker that we remember him as. From the original or the old original Star Wars movies. Uh, Luke Skywalker in the Last Jedi was so disenfranchised, so skeptical, without hope, and like he even tried to kill Kylo Ren. I was like, what? Pretty much the kind of Batman that Kevin Conroy played tonight. It's kind of like Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. It was like Kevin Conroy's Batman tonight. It's like, oh, what's the point? It's like, this world is not worth saving. You suck. I suck. Everybody sucks. and and the revelation is that um he because he's wearing braces now. Like he said, because of years of injuries, fighting bad guys, and he revealed that he actually killed. He crossed that line. Remember, Batman is not supposed to kill, right? Same with Superman too. That's why that ending in the movie Man of Steel kind of still bugs me. Um, but this Batman is like, oh yeah, I've killed, man. Sometimes you gotta beat the monster to beat the monster. That's what he said. Um, and it cracks me up too. I mentioned Man of Steel because um, Ben Affleck Batman. Remember Ben Affleck Batman in Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice? Dude, that guy also kills a lot of bad guys, man. Like, I think there's a scene of there's one shot of Ben Affleck's Batman kind of break somebody's like neck and break somebody's back. And there's that one fight scene in the movie. I was like, dude, Batman's not supposed to kill. But anyway, that's supposed to be like the rule of thumb. And this Kevin Conroy's Batman is just, I'm way past the line. Okay, so he turns out to be evil. And I made a note here that there are 3 instances where our superheroes turn evil in this episode tonight. Future Batman turn evil. Brandon Routh's Kingdom Come Superman became evil just for a few moments, right? Under the influence of Lex Luthor. And then the other one is Ollie. They try to resurrect Ollie using Lazarus Pit. But, if you resurrect somebody dead back to life again without their soul, then they become like monster, kind of basically running around like zombie, uh, wreaking havoc. And so it's interesting, right? It's interesting to see these 3 superheroes. We get to see their dark side, if you will. Um, let's see what else do I have in my comment here before I get to Smallville. Okay, I want to save that for last because I'm a huge fan of Smallville. John Constantine showed up. Yes, Matt Ryan as John Constantine. Love the guy. I also got to interview him at the premiere. I forgot what movie it was, but go watch my interview with Matt. Also here on Rama Screen YouTube channel. Lovely guy. He does have that accent. If you're wondering if that accent that you hear through John Constantine on the show, kind of like, oh, maybe that's exaggerated a little bit. Maybe he doesn't really sound like that. No, no, okay. I've met him in person. I interviewed him. He does sound like that. I kid you not. Um, so I love John Constantine. He's one of my favorite characters. He's so charismatic. You know, he's like a bad boy kind of persona, and but it's the kind that you can't get enough of. You're attracted to him. Like he's so, I don't know, man. I'm straight as hell, but I'm attracted to John Constantine. Okay, he's so sexy, and and tonight it's funny how he does that spell, magic spell, using two butts of cigarette. It's funny because if you know John Constantine, the character, he's a chain smoker. I believe he's a chain smoker in the comic books or in the canon. But you never see Matt actually smoke as the character on any of the shows on CW because we have this broadcasting TV rule network. Unless it's HBO or Showtime or any of the premium cable, you can't be smoking on prime time. So that's the rule here in America, and so it just cracks me up to see how he often would hold a cigarette but never really light it up, or he would put it on above his ear. And in tonight's episode, he uses them for spell. So he never really actually gets to smoke them, but he would use it for spell. He would play around with it, but we'll never see him smoke. So that's interesting in my opinion. What else do I have in here on my note? What the hell is Jonah Hex doing there? What? What the hell is Jonah Hex doing there? That's funny. He just shows up. So random. So random. Let's see. Do I have all the notes that I have? Yeah. I think I've gone through most of them. So let's get to the last part. Save the best for last. Somebody save me. I'm not a good singer. I don't care how you do it. Somebody save me. Oh God, you have no idea how much I love Smallville series. I mentioned to you guys, I think last night, I watched that show religiously. Even when even when the storytelling quality kind of went downhill after they took out Lex Luthor. Remember that Lex Luthor went missing, and then he didn't come back to like the final season. Even then, I still love it because the one that kind of even though Lex Luthor was out of the picture, what replaces that is this dynamic between Clark and Lois in Daily Planet, Metropolis. The the whole sexual tension, the will they, won't they kind of thing. I love it. I love it. I love it. And Erica Durance is one of my. It's probably my favorite Lois Lanes. I want to say no. If I were to rank it, I'd put Terry Hatcher number one, probably Erica Durance number two, and then everybody else follows. Including Margot Kidder. But God, I to see Tom Welling in that role again in tonight's episode. I I don't know what's the word I'm looking for here. Yes, I was geeking out, but more than that, I was like fangirling. Okay, I was like, ah, like the Asian anime character. I was like, ah, like girls in freaking One Direction concert. I was like that. Ah, oh my God, it's Tom Welling back as Clark Kent again, back in Smallville again. And then Erica Durance as Lois Lane, shows up, and then she calls him, "Hey, Smallville." I was like, oh. It's like, yeah, I'm fangirling. I was fangirling, man, the whole time. Um, it, 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 it was. It's been 10 years since Smallville ended its run, and so my reaction or my thoughts about tonight's appearance by Tom and Erica reprising their roles again. I gotta say I loved it, but at the same time, it was not enough. It was not enough. It was too fast. I was like, by the time it was over, I was like, that's it. That was it. A line heard in bedrooms everywhere around the world. That's it. um, but yeah, I was like, really? That's all you got? Crisis on Infinite Earths Part Two. That's all the Tom Welling and Erica Durance you're gonna give us? So a part of me was like that, but another part of me is just grateful. I was just grateful to see them again. Um, it felt like it felt like they never left at all. It's like, and Tom Welling, man, that guy still strapping after all these years. Erica Durance too, still hot after all these years. You know, they actually maintain their shape. They never let themselves go. You know what I'm saying? um, Rama, what do you think about the idea that Tom Welling's Superman or Tom Welling's Clark Kent gave up his power because he wanted to be ordinary, want to be a dad, want to be the husband, just some farm guy. I gotta say, I understand. I get it, right? I kind of like, so he wants to live a normal life. He doesn't want to go around saving everybody anymore. He just wants to be, the regular guy, 9 to 5, be there for the farm and his family. I get it. I get it. It's a nice life that he has there in the Kent farm. So I get it. But at the same time though, you kind of like, wow, his earth, his world, practically because he gave up his powers, his earth does not have Superman. I mean, I don't know. It's different. It's different scenario if like in on the other Earths when Lex Luthor kills those other Earth Superman, right? Um, yeah, that's tragic. That's horrible. But with this case, it's not like he died. He chose. It's his choice. I mean, tomorrow if he wants to be Superman again, probably he could get his powers back, whatever the scenario may be. But it kind of like I feel bummed out for the Earth, for his world, not to have him be Superman. When he could be Superman for them. It's not like he's dead. It's not like he couldn't be there for them. It just he chose not to be there for them. So if there's an airplane accident or some catastrophe happening, that means the other Justice League friends will have to save the day in his place. But they're not as powerful as he is, or he was, as he was. So I don't know. So I'm feeling conflicted about that. A part of me feels like, nah, it's kind of selfish of him to kind of give up his powers when the people on his earth or his world might need him. You know what I'm saying? And he's the only one probably powerful enough to save them. But at the same time, a part of me is like, oh, I get it. It's nice to not have that responsibility and, just to be bound to your family, your farm. It's relaxing, right? When life is predictable and not always gets hit by a catastrophe one after the next. So I get it. I get it. But yeah, that's my thought. I'm conflicted about the whole thing. Tom Welling, Superman giving up his power. Um, but did you notice though, going to the next Superman, Kingdom Come Superman, when Brandon Routh, um, you know, pretty much dons this role, if you will, the moment he steps into the screen, you notice the music in the background, right? It's John Williams, buddy. It's John Williams Superman theme, buddy. Oh, oh, come on! This episode tonight has so much fan service, so much fan service. I love it. I love it. Um, and Brandon Routh, he plays his version of Clark Kent very like down to the T, the same as the way he played his version of Clark Kent in the 2006 movie Superman Returns. And by that, I mean he emulated Christopher Reeve's bumbling, nervous wreck, Clark Kent. So, because that's how Christopher Reeve plays Clark Kent, especially when he's around Lois Lane. He's like, oh, he keeps like bumping into things, messing up his words, nervous. So Brandon Routh emulates that Christopher Reeve's version of Clark Kent for Superman Returns, and now he, does it again just for tonight, and it's just awesome. I love it. I love it. Especially with the John Williams music in the background. Ooh, woo! Now, the Man of Steel scene. Do you notice? Um, by that I mean the Superman versus Superman scene. It's very Man of Steel esque. Remember the movie Man of Steel? They pretty much copies the style of that scene in which Henry Cavill's Superman fights Michael Shannon's General Zod. It was just like that. Even I mean, at one point in tonight's episode, in the middle of their fight, did you notice like the buildings start like crumbling down? I was like, dude, you're totally stealing from Man of Steel there, or maybe they're paying homage, not necessarily stealing. Stealing is such a harsh word. Um, and you wonder, like, oh my god, the people in that building. So many people die, by the way, during that Superman versus General Zod scene in Man of Steel movie, man. Oh, needlessly, so many lives died needlessly in those buildings. It's like, really? Can you guys fight without having to cause people to die? Innocent bystanders to just die? I thought you're supposed to save. I thought you're supposed to save people, Superman. But anyway, yeah, that whole thing is very, very Man of Steel esque. They really pay homage to that scene from the movie, the 2013 movie. Um, which also reminds me, I made a note here. It's a long ways, man. It's a long ways from Superman 2. Remember Superman 2? Christopher Reeve versus, Terrence Stamp's General Zod. And they also fight in the middle of the city, Metropolis. And if you watch the movie again, you notice how clunky it is. Because back then the visual effects obviously and the special effects were just not great, but it was great for that time. But if you watch it again with today's eyes, you're like, oh, whew, that dude. It's so clunky and so cheesy, but I'm just saying that it's a long ways from that, to 2013 Man of Steel versus Superman versus General Zod, and to today's Superman versus Superman scene that pays homage to Man of Steel. Such a long way, man. Man, that's all. Just wanna point that out. And that's it. Those are the notes that I have. Overall, you know what? Even though I was dreading it, I gotta say tonight's episode actually wasn't too shabby. Was not too shabby. Yeah, I was dreading it because it's gonna be Batwoman centered. And you know how much I hated that show, Batwoman. Uh, but there was not a lot of emphasis. I mean, there was not even Alice. Alice did not even show up. So and yeah, I think Luke Fox showed up, and then of course Cat Kane, and that's it. Pretty much them. and then of course Kevin Conroy as Batman. So they kept it to a minimum. The whole Batman, I'm sorry, the whole Batwoman show, they kept it to a minimum. So that made me kind of happy. And the whole Batwoman centric episode tonight only revolves around pretty much Cat Kane and uh, Kevin Conroy's future Batman. So that that much of Batwoman I can handle. You know, any more than that, I'll be like, oh, no, don't bring me the regular show. uh, uh, quick comment about the whole Lazarus pit again. The whole thing feels more like a filler. I don't know. You're trying to resurrect Ali. I get it, but it's a plot that I was watching the whole thing. I was like, you wonder, like, how does this connect to Crisis? Like, you guys are busy trying to resurrect Ali because Barry's like, oh, we can't have our Earth without Green Arrow. You know, it's like, no, Ali could not die. And then Ali's daughter's like, oh, I want my dad back. Okay, okay, fine, but guys, there's Crisis. Hello, can we go back to that, please? So I don't know. It's a little bit of a distraction, if you will. I don't know if it's a welcome one. Maybe you guys like that. I find it like, can we go back to the story, please? That's how I react to the whole trying to resurrect Ali situation that we have in tonight's episode. But I can't wait for part 3 tomorrow. I will not be here unfortunately tomorrow to do live review of part 3. I apologize because I'm scheduled to attend the screening of Six Underground, Ryan Reynolds' new movie directed by Michael Bay. But I will be back Wednesday night for part 4, and then Thursday night for the finale, part 5. So make sure you come back for Wednesday and Thursday. I'll be here again, and we'll discuss those couple of final parts right here on Rama Screen YouTube channel, live stream style. All right. Thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Share your theories. What do you think is going to happen from this point forward? What did you think about tonight's episode? Do you agree or disagree with my assessment? Do you have questions about him? Let me know. Let me know all your thoughts about tonight's episode in the comment section down below. And as always, subscribe to my channel, press that like button, ring that bell, and if you can help support me, please do so at patreon.com/ramascreen. Woo! God, hearing that music tonight, it was awesome. Let's rock this.